Hello everyone. Sorry for the late video. Last week was a busy week. My pastor was out of town, so I had to cover a few teaching opportunities, and it really cut a lot of my time out. And then this weekend, my parents actually came into town, and that also took a lot of time. But it was a good time. I'm glad they came, but it did push other things back. I will come back to the thing with the parents later. That is actually a pretty funny story. So backing up to our previous session we just had. Uh, I For those of you who might have seen the last journal, I wasn't too happy with how it went. I was having some personal issues that I was trying to resolve through that session, and I really appreciate all the feedback I got from y'all. It really helped me think things through, and I think moving forward it's going to be really helpful. Uh, so with our last session, I actually didn't have to do I actually didn't do a whole lot of prep work. It's After kind of over preparing for a couple sessions, I think I'm really starting to iron out what I need to prepare, what I don't have to worry about. So it didn't really feel like there was a lot of homework I had to do, and it didn't cause any problems. I think I'm not I need to be careful not to get complacent or anything, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of how this works. So also we did have a visiting player this week. Uh, had never played another beginner. Someone wanted to come and see how the game works. Rolled a character forward using the standard array and just hopped in, and she knocked it out of the park. She has a little bit of theater background, so she was really cool with the role play aspect, and it was a lot of fun to have her. Kind of shook up the group dynamic a little bit. We also had a little bit of a longer session. Normally our sessions run from 7:15 till about 9:45, but our player who has that hard stop did not have to work that night, so we got to run a little longer. We actually ran until about 11:15 that night. So that extra hour really adds a lot of extra stuff to your session. It gives a lot of more breathing room, and I really appreciated having that. Hopefully, we can do some more of those longer sessions in the future. I mentioned earlier the feedback, and I really think it paid off. On the whole, I think this was absolutely our best session yet. Everyone was just having so much fun. So many folks commented how well that session went. And we had a good balance of exploration, a good amount of RP, had a little bit of combat. Probably could have pushed a little heavier on that if we had gotten to it. But the RP was just amazing. There are times where I didn't have to say anything. The players started talking back and forth in character, kind of talking about backstories and motivations, and really just getting into character. And it was so great to see that. Um, and also, I was thinking during that session about way back when session 2 we had about how I might have pushed players too hard, uh, and I taking what y'all taught me, also trying to figure out how to make the game, how to balance and pace the game properly. I really think this session in particular turned out pretty well. I tried to encourage moving forward, but I never wanted to do anything to quench the way they were playing. Uh, but I knew I wanted to get a little bit of a combat encounter there towards the end, so I did. And I wanted the players to feel a little bit of a time crunch. There was a pressing matter to attend to, and I didn't want them. I didn't want to. I didn't want to force them into doing anything, but I did try to plant some seeds and kind of drop some hints and say, hey, it's kind of urgent. You might either they to put it in context. After they had engaged some members of a gang that is running a town, they left town for a few days to let the heat die down. Well, they come back to town and realize that in their absence, after this fight, well, the gang did not take kindly to that and actually has stepped up the way they're treating the villagers. They're taking more money. They're being more rough with the shopkeepers. So I really wanted to make the players feel like there is an incentive. There is a reason they need to do that. They need to address this problem with the gang. And I think it worked well. The the players, they took the hint. They did this. But it didn't feel like I was trying. I don't think it came across that I was trying to rush them anything. Because they did. They had plenty of time to chat, plenty of time to talk, plenty of time to decide and plan and have some story beats where they got to do other things. And so I'm really excited with how that went, and I hope that is something I can continue doing and continue to improve upon. One of the things a lot of y'all mentioned after my last session was narrative consequences. If the players do something shady, illegal, unethical, evil, having narrative consequences. I had to think a little bit about it but I'm really happy with how it turned out. So the to bring it back around, there were some crates in a goblin cave that had been stolen from a merchant. The intention was for the players to take the boxes and return them to the owner. Well, instead they decided to break them all open and look for anything valuable. I thought about narrative consequence. I thought about having like a magic alarm or trigger or something like that. And I ended up going with something. The way I envisioned it in my head was that there was some kind of tamper-proof seal, almost like fingerprint dust or the dye packs from Money. And so when they came back, when they did eventually decide, okay, we're going to take these crates back and turn them in. But they were just going to say, oh, the goblins got into them. But the bard, who was the one who broke them all open, so I had it when he walked into the store to return them. A magical alarm went off and his hands were glowing with this magical dust or tamper-proof powder. So I think the point got across. It didn't lead to them being thrown in jail or anything like that, but it did. Their reward for returning the goods was certainly less than it would have been had they returned them in pristine condition. And I think it got the point across, but it didn't. I learned not to shut too many doors on my players. So y'all remember from that same session with the rushing things. So I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. There's still a lot I can learn, still a lot I can improve upon, but I think with experience I'm getting a little better at this, and it's all thanks to the many pieces of advice y'all are giving me on all the great feedback I'm getting from y'all. Thank you again so much for that. Okay, so a couple things before I go. This video was late. I do apologize, but my next one will be late as well. Next week, our scheduled game can't happen. My church is having a vacation Bible school for our children and our youth. So I'll be doing that. So we moved our game to that Saturday, the 29th. I will get that. If y'all are interested, I will still keep doing. I'll still do a video for that one, and because by making these videos, I'm learning a lot. It's making me be intentional about how I'm running the game and how I'm playing the game, and I'm really I'm excited to keep doing these if people keep wanting to watch them. Also, okay, last thing I wanted to mention, my parents, they came into town. Well, they had not seen they had not seen where I'm living. I moved across the country last year for work, and this is the first time they'd seen my where I'm living now. And so one evening we had a few hours to kill, and they knew I was playing Dungeons & Dragons now, and they're like, so I was able to convince them to play a little one-shot. I actually adapted Matt Colville's Delian Tomb, and once they got the hang of it, I think they said they had a good time. They told me that's not something they're gonna play again probably, but they were they had a lot of fun, kind of role playing some stuff, using just the standard starter kit pre-gen characters. And it was cool that they were able to get into some of the role playing aspects, and just now I got my parents to play D&D. That's pretty fun. So again, thank y'all so much for all the feedback and the encouragement and advice y'all are giving me. It is made a tremendous difference, and I'm seeing the benefit of that advice. Uh, I couldn't have done this without y'all. So thank you for everything, and I look forward to seeing y'all again. God bless.